Okay, Chief X again, I'm back. My recording stopped on me, so I'm restarting. So I think I left off with the DNA and the admixture is not with Africans, with Mesoamericans and South Americans. We didn't get down like that because we didn't have much contact at all. At all. That's why you don't have records. West Africans, Nile Valley Africans didn't record not one time any journey. And we know that the Nile Valley Africans recorded pretty much everything of importance. They never recorded a journey to the Americas because it didn't happen. They didn't have boat and ship technology that good to cross that Atlantic. And I'm going to tell you why, because I was in the Navy. Listen to me. Any sailor knows that them cheap boats couldn't cross the Atlantic. But let me show you why. We were talking about DNA and how they got here through the Bering Strait. So this is my map, y'all. I advise everybody to get a map because you can correlate with it. Right? I got this map on my wall in my little office area. Okay, here's the United States. Because it's hard to understand things without a map. There go Africa. Oh, this is Russia. This is Asia. Basically, East Asia. And I'm going to tell you why they say East Asia. This is East. This is going west. This is East. So when they say Asians have East Asian DNA, look where Russia is. And all the way down, this is the East. They call this continent Asia. This is Africa. This is North America, South America, Brazil. Okay? Understand, you got to have maps because you can correlate and get your mind right with a map. Okay. Here's Alaska, Canada, in the United States or North America, Mexico, South America. Okay. So, when they say where the natives come from, they came from the Bering Straits. Again, Russia is right next to Alaska. Cold. Canada. Cold. North Pole. Pale people. Cold areas. North. North Pole. North gods. Okay? Think. So, Alaska is basically connected down there to Russia. Remember the president, that white lady president, Palin, what's her name, Palin? She said, I can see Russia from my backyard. She lived in Alaska. Check this out. Let me go back to my globe. This is my globe, another map. Okay. So, United States, Alaska. Guess what? Russia. Hey, their backyards. Hey. So, because this one don't show it, it cuts off. But just know Russia's next to Alaska. They're damn near touching. It's a fucking bridge. The Bering Straits, they call it. So, they came from right here up top in the cold area in the north into Alaska. Down to Canada. Into the Americas. That's where the Native American came from. That's their migration into the Americas, all down into Mexico, all down to South America and the islands. Y'all wasn't there. Y'all was way over here. Not over here. This side of the world y'all was at. We circumnavigated, but not like y'all think. I'll touch that in a second. So, Bering Straits from Russia to Alaska all the way down into the United States and Mexico. Okay? And this was 12,000 years ago. I know y'all like to use these extended dates. I heard somebody say, we circumnavigated the globe millions of years ago. Yeah, right. So look here, 12,000 years ago they came in. Why? They couldn't come in before that. You know why? And this is what's going to fuck a lot of you pro-blacks, phony Afrocentrics up. Because you don't want to be Afrocentric anyway. They came at 12,000 because they couldn't come in here earlier. You know why? Because all this shit right here was full of ice. It was a fucking ice age. An ice sheet. So no! Africans was not in the Americas prior to 20,000 years ago. All this shit was ice age. This shit was fucking empty. Nothing was here. Nothing was here. It was an ice age. And if you don't believe me, look it up. It's called the Laurentine Ice Age. Just Google Laurentine Ice Age. It will tell you. I don't have to make shit up. Nobody was here. That's why I tell you, Americas was the last continent populated. Niggas was out of Africa into Europe first. That's why I say, why you don't call yourself Aboriginal Europeans? You got more right to be an Aboriginal European than you have to be an Aboriginal from the Americas, indigenous to the Americas. This is where they came in, fam, and they populated this area. See, when they came in, they populated it. And their culture was born, bred, and originated in these lands. So that's their lands. Who gives a shit if someone accidentally landed there from Africa and explored and visited? That's not your land. You're just a visitor. So even if we give it to you and say, hey, Africans touched this land first, let's just give you that. Okay, I may agree with that. They touched the land first, but that don't mean they're from the land. That don't mean they're indigenous to the land. That means they visited and explored the land and bounced. But the Native Americans came into the lands and stayed, and their culture expanded and was born. That's their culture, born and bred there. Not you Africans. Not us West Africans who came from here. Now, I'm in the Navy, right? I went on a Westpac. I went to every Asian country there was. I've been to China, Philippines, Thailand, Tokyo, Japan, Hong Kong. I've been to all those countries when I was in the Navy. I'm experienced. So when we sailed out of here in the Navy. Getting to here, Westpac, they call it. West Pacific Ocean. This is the Atlantic Ocean. This is the Pacific Ocean. Let me go down to my globe, my smaller one. Maybe you can get a better understanding. So, ship technology in ancient times wasn't that good. Let me tell you why. When I was let me show you. This is MANSA MUSA. It's a fake written book story about MANSA MUSA that he came to America with a whole bunch of people. But it's a fiction story. But people believed it and implemented it into history, right? Here's the story. Right? The story of Abubakar, also known as MANSA MUSA. Mansa is an African name that means sultan or ruler. So it's a bunch of Mansa something. MANSA MUSA, Mansa this, Mansa that. You know what I mean? So people are getting them confused. But this Abubakar was the original, right? So he was a rich one. Right? You seen these pictures and shit? His horseman. Now he was rich as fuck. So guess what? He had ships. And I'm going to tell you, being in the Navy, see that ship? You cannot cross the Atlantic Ocean in that ship. You will die. And guess what happened in the story? What does that say? Abuka equipped 200 ships filled with men and the same number equipped with gold, water, and provisions enough to last them for years. They departed a long time past before anyone came back. Then one ship returned. We asked the captain what the news they brought. He said, yes, Sultan. Basically, he's saying they all sailed into a storm and rough waters. In all them 200 ships, except one, they all died and drowned. Why? Because the boat technology sucked. God damn. Even in ancient Egypt, the Nile Valley, I seen pictures of them boats. The one in the museum, I seen the pictures they have on the walls. Them boats cannot cross the Atlantic Ocean. I'm telling you as an experienced man that was in the Navy. I'm on a large steel Navy ship, right? And when we went to that rough waters and the water got rough, I'm talking about in the middle of this motherfucker. Not along the coast and shit. That's cool and cute. That's what they was doing along the coast, selling that cool and cute shit. Once you get your ass up out here, you're in trouble. It's no land you can see. You're gonna die and drown on this boat. When I was in the Navy, we sailed up out here. Them waves in the boat was turning like this, 45 degrees, for a week straight. And I'm talking about a large Navy ship. Are you kidding me? A large Navy ship was doing this. The USS Cayuga I was on. LST 1186. Amphib ship. Stephen Shelton. It was taking turns like this. We had to sleep with our arms straight out. You think these boats gonna take turns? No, the wave gonna go over them because the wave was going over the top of our boat and it's fucking 10 times as big as that. More than that. That's why these motherfuckers, hold on. That's why they died and didn't come back. Right? And when you go pull MANSA MUSA up on YouTube, excuse me, not YouTube, Wikipedia, guess what it say? Unknown death. Another site, it says, what's the death of MANSA MUSA? Atlantic Ocean. He died in the Atlantic Ocean according to the stories. Right? So one on Wikipedia says unknown. No one knows, even the people at the time, how he died, what happened to MANSA MUSA. Maybe y'all are right and he tried to take a trip and never came back. Because that Atlantic Ocean is no joke. On them boats? Wait a minute. No way is it possible. See, you niggas don't understand ship technology and boat technology. You can't make it. Someone tried on an expedition and failed. Some white man. He tried again and somehow he made it. I don't know if he had escorts. He took the curves or the easy route or something. I have no idea. But it doesn't really happen on boats like that. You can't. So I'm telling you, the Africans didn't record it. West Africa, now that they never recorded it, and they recorded everything. Because it didn't happen. Now, I do believe some ships, a few ships may have landed in the Americas accidentally through currents, but not a planned trip. So if you land and get over here accidentally on a current, guess what? Just say 5 ships landed accidentally on a current. Let me just give you that. Before pre-Columbus time, I'll give you that. Say 5 ships landed. Say the ship had what? 50 men on them each. So you got 5 ships. 50 men here, 50 men there, 50 men here. That's small. You can't populate this motherfucker with, what, 200 men? So I always say, if the African got here, they were in seriously small numbers, as in 1 African man to 100 Native Americans. You ain't exacting shit with them numbers. This wasn't your land. This is your land. You went all up in here, in this valley, Indian China, you was all over here. You wasn't on this side of the world. That's why they called it the New World. It was new 12,000 years ago when these Native Americans came up in here and settled. Nobody was there. So, hey, we have stories. Oh, they found some crane at such and such years old. Who gives a fuck? What if somebody accidentally got here on current or accidentally explored here in these lands, landed here, and they just fucking died there? And they found the skeleton that died. Does that mean that that person was an original habitant of that land? No, that means just explorers or somebody came here, they found a fucking dead body and measured it up. Oh, okay, this one looked like African. Oh, they found 1 fucking African body. And here go Afrocentrics. Oh, see, they found 1 fucking skeleton skull there that sounds as African. Oh, that must mean no. God damn. All this land for 200 people? No, you was in here in small numbers. So if it was impossible for the richest man in his boats, and I'm sure he had supreme boats, If it was impossible for Mansa Musa, shit, what the fuck you think? And look, in the fictional book story, when Mansa Musa does get there, I'm gonna just give you that. Say Mansa Musa made it and got there pre-Columbus time. Guess what? Guess who he's greeting? Guess who was there before Mansa Musa? Native Americans. He came and got greeted by Native Americans. Because why? Because it was their land, Einstein. He showed up on their land with their culture. Look at the Africans. Working hard, little bullshit ass shit right there. It's a fictitious, that couldn't story. But the people who think Mansa Musa did, because some people mentioned it to me, I'm trying to tell them it's a fictitious story in a book. But just, little ship sitting out there. That bullshit shit couldn't cross no Atlantic Ocean or Pacific Ocean. I'm in the Navy. I know it can't. You can sail along the coast, up and down a river. Get your ass up out there in that Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. You're dead. Look at these niggas. Bringing shit up. Greeting me. So, even if I give you the story of Mansa Musa, guess who was there before him? These Native Americans. Y'all, case is motherfucking closed. That ain't y'all land. That's Mansa Musa. The story said he died in Atlantic. His ships drowned. They didn't make it back. Fam. Look at those boats. I'm telling you, Africa has a glorious, wonderful history. You don't need the America's history. You don't need to claim that culture. It's okay. You dig? It's okay. We was in power for 3,000 fucking years, the longest any people has been in power without falling. Rome fell, Greece fell, everybody falls. We was kicking it a long time until the Romans and Greeks came, and then we fell. Then the Arab slave trade happened. Then the transatlantic slave trade happened. Okay? That's not us, fam. So 3 things. I proved there wasn't nobody selling. I proved the Olmec heads aren't African. And I proved that your DNA does not show that you were here. This case is closed. Keep your eye on the prize. Black power. Get your ass back Afrocentric. Leave all that chakras and kundalini and all that Hindu faith shit alone. Get you some motherfucking cowrie shells, which is African, and throw them damn stones and crystals in the trash unless you're just decorating with it, because they are pretty. But they're just decoration. They ain't doing shit. That's Hindu faith shit. I talked to a Buddhist friend. He broke down the chakras to me, a chakra story I never heard. I didn't know the chakra story. It's a real chakra story. Not the shit y'all into in America, the colors and all that. The real chakra story was gland manipulation. Manipulating glands and shit. Niggas was coming gay and shit. They was fucking with them glands and them gland points and shit. Because they was trying to live a docile, good life and not have sex and shit. They was homosexual life. So niggas, men, if you fucking with chakras, you don't know the real chakra story. I'm going to tell it one day. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a video with my Buddhist friend. And y'all going to have your mouths open. Stop fucking with them chakras. It's death. I'm out.